He's hunting us.
Open the door, come on.
Run.
Hi everyone, I'm Nikki Novak, and welcome to Fandango's Big Ticket Now, bringing you what's hot, what's new, and what's next in the world of movies. Kicking things off with what's hot this week, and it is a lot, because D23 happened over the weekend, and there was an explosion of movie news. Yours truly got to be there, thank you very much Fandango, where I got access to all the major players, sat down with filmmakers, actors, producers, studio heads, what have you. Well, here's what we learned. It was announced that Incredibles 3 is in the works, with Brad Bird returning after the 2004 and 2018 installments. Incredibles 2 had been Pixar's highest grossing film ever until Inside Out 2 surpassed it just a couple months ago. While no info was given on the story for this one, it is worth noting that the sequel, which came 14 years after the first one, picked up right after the last one left off. Another hot moment from D23 came when Maui himself, Dwayne Johnson, took the stage to introduce the new trailer for Moana 2.
It's my job as a wayfinder to finish what they started.
This movie is set 3 years after the events of the first one, with Moana and company looking for the lost island of Motufitu, which was hidden by a jealous god of the storms. Auli'i Cravalho sang a new song from the movie before The Rock came out. What an intro. There was also news on the Avatar front at D23 with the big reveal of the third installment's title. Are you ready? Avatar: Fire and Ash. After a 13-year gap between the first two movies, this one is due out on December of 2025, 3 years after Avatar: The Way of Water. He's going in the right direction. Thanks, James. And speaking of title announcements, Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis arrived at D23 with the title of the sequel to Freaky Friday, which will be called, Freakier Friday. Along with Lohan and Curtis, we know that Mark Harmon and Chad Michael Murray are among those reprising their roles from the original film. The first movie was released in 2003 as the third adaptation of the 1972 novel of the same name. And what do you know, I had the gosh darn pleasure of chatting with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis at D23 when the only freaky thing that really happened was me freaking out on the inside. Where are these characters? At least at the start of this film,
We can't say.
Okay.
We're not allowed to say because we're still in the middle of shooting. Lindsay was.
Are you really?
Oh yes, Lindsay was working last night at 11 o'clock at night playing a guitar somewhere, maybe on the Wiltern stage. There may be a lot of music in this new movie, and maybe last night they were shooting a big sequence.
If you want to get even freakier, you can watch our whole interview right now on Fandango.com, as well as our talk with the cast and director of Avatar: Fire and Ash, the great James Cameron, plus some inside scoop on Incredibles 3 from Pixar's Pete Docter himself, and so much more. I'm not kidding, we just about talked to everybody at D23. Now on to what's new this week, and we are talking Alien Romulus, which is the 7th installment in the Alien franchise. This one takes place between the first and second installment, Alien and Aliens, and follows a group of space colonists who have a little meet and greet with the scariest monster in space. It was directed by Fede Alvarez, known for directing Evil Dead in 2013 and Don't Breathe in 2016, which are fresh and certified fresh, respectively, on Rotten Tomatoes. Ridley Scott, who directed the first Alien movie in 1979, is among the producers for this movie. He also gave it his seal of approval and used an expletive for how great it is.
I make horror movies, so nothing scares me a lot, but I was terrified of showing Sir Ridley Scott my version of Alien. There's nothing scarier than that. He was actually the first one to see it. I didn't show it to the studio, I didn't show it to anybody outside of me and my editor. And it was like, as soon as it was done, it was like, okay, the first thing we do, we send it to Ridley, get Ridley to watch it, and I will drive to where he is and sit down at a table and take it.
You can find the full interview at Fandango.com, where you can also purchase tickets to Alien Romulus. On to what's next this week, and well, we're just gonna give you more D23 info because there's just too much good stuff to leave out. Our very first look at The Mandalorian and Grogu movie, yes, a new Star Wars movie which is coming out in May of 2026. We also got some updates on Zootopia 2, most notably that reptiles will now be involved and that Ke Huy Quan, Oscar winner, has been cast as an antagonist snake. The first trailer was revealed for the new live-action Snow White movie with Rachel Zegler, who plays Snow White, and Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, both on hand for the fun, and that song has been in my head ever since I saw the trailer. It looks delightful. And there's Toy Story 5, which was made even more official at D23 with a glimpse at the storyline, which will show our favorite toys competing with what kids are into nowadays, electronics. Good luck, toys. And finally, Dwayne Johnson also used the D23 stage to introduce his new action flick set in the world of motorsports called Monster Jam, as Disney has teamed up with the popular monster truck franchise. All I can say is, if you're a Disney fan like me, you've got a lot to look forward to. Well, that's it for this week's Big Ticket Now, and don't forget you can get your tickets to all of these movies at Fandango.com or on the Fandango app. And don't forget to follow us on all of the socials at Fandango. Thanks for watching, and I will see you at the movies.